Iran named Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's son Mujtaba to succeed his father as supreme leader, signaling that hardliners remain firmly in charge in Tehran. That's according to Iranian media, who said Mujtaba was chosen by Iran's Assembly of Experts more than a week after his father was killed in one of the first airstrikes in the U.S.-Israeli war against Iran. Analysts say Mujtaba, a powerful mid-ranking cleric, amassed influence under his father as a key figure within the security forces, serving as his father's gatekeeper. His appointment could draw the ire of U.S. President Donald Trump, who has said he should have a role in the choice of the next leader, a demand Iran has roundly rejected. On Sunday, Trump told ABC News, quote, "If he doesn't get approval from us, he's not going to last long." Israel, ahead of the announcement, threatened to target whoever was chosen. Fighting has escalated in the more than week-long U.S.-Israeli campaign against Iran. Israel expanded its strikes on Iran to include fuel depots, and Bahrain blamed Iran for a strike on a desalination plant. Trump has pressed for an unconditional surrender, but Iran's parliament speaker said Tehran was not seeking a ceasefire and would punish aggressors. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his government would press on with the assault and strike Iran's rulers, quote, "without mercy." Trump told reporters on Air Force One over the weekend that he was not seeking negotiations to end the conflict, which has driven up global energy prices, disrupted business, and snarled air travel. At some point, Trump said, "I don't think there will be anybody left maybe to say, 'We surrender.'"
US President Donald Trump has dismissed Britain's consideration of sending aircraft carriers to the Middle East, saying the United States does not need them to win the war with Iran.
We don't need them. It's not the right time. It would have been nice to have had them 2 weeks ago.
Trump was speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One after Britain's Defence Ministry said on Saturday it was preparing the Prince of Wales aircraft carrier for possible deployment. But no final decision had been taken about whether to send it to the Middle East, a British official said. In response, Trump posted on social media that he, quote, "will remember the lack of British support during the conflict with Iran." The president has repeatedly criticised Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer over his stance on the war. He suggested this week that Starmer helped ruin the country's historically close ties after London blocked initial US use of British bases to attack Iran. Starmer has defended that decision, saying he needed to be satisfied that any military action was legal and well-planned. He later granted US forces permission to use British bases for what he called limited and defensive strikes to weaken Tehran's capabilities. On Sunday, Starmer's office said the pair had spoken on Iran as 2 US Air Force planes arrived at an airbase in England. The Prime Minister's office released a statement saying the use of Royal Air Force bases was discussed, quote, "in support of the collective self-defense of partners in the region." Starmer's office did not address Trump's criticisms, but said the Prime Minister offered his condolences over the deaths of 6 US soldiers killed in the conflict.
الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله بل بارقنا يا جماعة رمادة.
Six Palestinians, including 2 girls, were killed in Israeli attacks in Gaza on Sunday. That's according to health officials. In Gaza City, an airstrike near Al-Azhar University killed 3 men, including a paramedic, and wounded several others. The blast hit close to crowded tent camps sheltering displaced families. The Israeli military said it targeted 2 Hamas members preparing an attack, but offered no evidence. No militant group has claimed the dead men as members, and Israel declined to provide further details. Around midnight, tank shelling in central Gaza killed at least 3 more people, including 2 girls, and injured 10 others. Medics say the shell struck a tent encampment. Israel has not commented on that incident. Violence has continued despite a U.S.-brokered ceasefire in October. Gaza health officials say at least 640 Palestinians have been killed since then, while Israel reports 4 soldiers killed over the same period. More than 2 years of war have devastated Gaza, with local authorities reporting over 72,000 Palestinians killed. The conflict began after Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel in 2023, which left 1,200 people dead and more than 250 taken hostage.
دشمن دلش میخواد ما با کشورهای اسلامی در جنگ باشیم.
The enemy wants us and the Islamic countries to be at war. They want to create division between us and them. Time and again we have said, and continue to say, that the intention and the goal of the late leader has been that we consider the neighboring countries as our brothers, and that our relations with them should be good.
اما اتفاقی که داره رخ میده اینه که از هر کشوری
But what is happening is that if from any country they attack our soil and carry out aggression, naturally we are obliged to respond to them. When we respond to them, this does not mean that we have a dispute with that country. It does not mean that we want to upset the people there.
ناراحت بکنیم ایران ما و مملکت ما.
Our Iran, our country, will not bow easily in the face of bullying, in the face of oppression, in the face of aggression, and has not bowed. And it is not possible that our heroic nation will retreat easily in the face of threats that they make.
ما عقب بکشه.
I saw a helicopter that was like swerving over the embassy, and yeah, we thought it was a very thick layer of smoke right here, right behind here. We did not really know what it was, but
As governments worldwide ramp up efforts to keep minors off social networks, some teenagers are coming up with ways to get around it. That's according to Rick Song, the CEO of Persona, an identity verification company that helps businesses confirm age-appropriate users through ID checks, biometric verification, and fraud prevention tools. Song says Persona tests scenarios that teens may use to fool scanners, like wearing a mask with adult features or holding up an action figure.
Some kids are incredibly artistically talented at a young age. I mean, the purpose of this whole room for us and from facial hair is to test kind of scenarios like that.
For years, tech companies successfully resisted pressure from child safety advocates to do more to keep kids off their services. They claimed technical limitations would make any attempt to restrict access for teens impractical, overly broad, or a security risk. Now, as a growing list of governments has concluded those hurdles are not insurmountable, they're pushing ahead with age-checking requirements. Recent advancements in AI have boosted the effectiveness and slashed the cost of age-gating tools, according to Reuters interviews with over a dozen regulators, child safety advocates, and independent researchers. Social media companies can often confidently guess a person's age group using digital breadcrumbs like the year an account was established or the type of content it views. But age assurance vendors like Persona say they offer an additional layer of checks.
We kind of stumbled into age verification because the laws are so I think nuanced still right now, and every single day there's new laws coming into play. Our whole perspective is that every technology has some time, place, some usage. We'll provide all the tools and all the tools that are available, and our customers can choose which one makes the most sense for their respective kind of demographic.
Early data from Australia, which sparked the movement with a landmark ban on teen social media accounts, shows millions of suspected underage accounts have been locked, though vendors say some platforms may be doing only the bare minimum the law requires. Regulators elsewhere are studying Australia closely as they consider tightening their own rules. But a trade group for firms like Persona warns that platforms are testing regulators' patience to, quote, see what they can get away with.